Good morning all, and welcome to our college writing course. Unfortunately, this is not the way I planned on our semester starting together, but we'll just have to be flexible and go with it. I will warn you that there might be multiple videos to get me through this screencast, which is what I have to use because Zoom isn't working, only allows 15-minute videos, so there might be a few of these for me to get through all of the content. But we'll just be flexible and do our best. So here is what we would have done in our Zoom class this morning. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is the syllabus. So I'm going to have to exit out of the PowerPoint presentation here, and I'm going to go into the syllabus, and I think that I'll constantly use D2L to navigate right now just so that you get used to how I have things set up. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go into D2L. So here is our home page, and here's the announcement that I just sent that told you I'm going to record videos so you don't have to wait around for Zoom to work. And I'm going to go on into content. From there, I'm actually already in week 1, but I was going to show you that here's week 1. Know that the other folder, so you have general course information here. And in here, you're going to find the course syllabus. There's a couple different versions. It comes in a link, it comes in a Word document, and a PDF document. So you pick whatever works for you. Then there's an overview of all 16 weeks, so you can kind of see what we're going to be doing. If you like that 30,000 feet view, you can certainly look at that. And then here is the weekly course schedule for week 1. This is the only week where it will be in this general course information folder, and ordinarily it's in the weekly folder, and I'll show you that. Next are all the links to the serial podcast. I do want to show you too that there is a link to the transcript. The transcript is free online, and you are welcome to use that. However, it does make it a lot harder to annotate and respond to the episodes if you are just reading the transcript online. It is much cheaper rather than printing the whole transcript yourself. It's much cheaper to buy it from the bookstore, but you can certainly do what works for you. But I did want to show you that here's a link to the whole transcript, and here's a link to all of the episodes. Next, you'll see that there are folders for our 3 units, which I'll go over from the syllabus in a minute. We're going to do a personal narrative unit, a unit called the rhetorical mode essay, also called the justice paper, and then an argument unit. And you can see that you don't need to be worried about those yet because we're not starting them until next week, and we'll start the personal narrative next week. So you've got some time to kind of get used to the course, but all of the course documents for those units are in here. But I will tell you, you probably won't ever use those folders. Just because everything has been linked in the weekly folders where I give you everything you need for that week. Some students I know have gone back when they needed to find something and they couldn't remember what week it was in. They just went into these folders, but in general, you probably won't need them. VoiceThread is the program we'll use, and I'm going to show you how that works. This is just for a home page link and a course home link. You probably also won't ever need to use that either because everything's been linked in the weekly folders. So in general, if you just stay working in the weekly folders, you should be fine the whole semester and never have to go anywhere else. I would say the only other place in D2L you'll ever have to go is to your grade, which if you go to assessment and then down to grades, I can't click on that right now because it would bring up everybody's grade, so I'm not going to click on that, but you should often to find out how you're doing and everything. But in general, you don't have to get to the discussion board like this. I will tell you that there is a class list here, so if you ever need to email anyone, our whole class list is located right here. All of you are online right now. I love that you're here, and I'm so sorry again that we're not meeting live like I had planned. But if you ever need to email anyone, for example, I'm on here, I'm right there, so if you need to email me, you can just click my name and click email, and then an email window will come up and you can write me. I'm going to cancel that out. I don't need to write myself right now. So in general, you won't need to use these tabs very often, but I will show you one other thing. If you go into the discussion board, There are two forums that are not linked in the weekly folders. One is for questions. If you ever have questions for me and you don't want to email me because you think your classmates would benefit from your question, then you can certainly post a discussion thread to me here. When you click on the discussion board, you just click on start a new thread, put your question, or just say, I would say Jan's question, and then I might put it here, or if I want the subject of, hey, how does D2L work, or whatever your question is, and then type it here, and then you just click post and you're done. Now I'm going to click cancel because I don't need to do that, but I will show you that in addition to that, there's also a question for classmates. Sometimes it's easier to ask your classmates questions rather than asking me. So you can certainly post here also for your classmates to read. And then there are some fun forums students I've had in the past wanted to share what they were reading or listening to, and a place to share their creative writing that they were doing outside of the assignments. And so I've kept these fun forums in here for you to use as well. They are optional and not a required part of the class, but in general, students have found them to be really fun. So hence the name, Fun Forum. All right, I'm going to go back to content now. And I'm going to go down to week 1 where you should be starting because we're in week 1. And so when I get there, I'm going to notice that there's a bunch of folders, right? And my motto is always work down the folders, right? You want to work down them. And actually, I'm going to change my settings right now so that mine looks exactly like yours instead of as the instructor view. And when it does that, it's going to take me back to the home page for our course. And then, of course, it's not working, which makes sense. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now mine looks like yours. So I'm going to go back to content. And so now this should look more familiar. Okay, so you're always going to want to start in the Start Here folder for the week. And in that week, you're always going to find first your weekly assignment schedule as well as the overview videos for the week. There are 2 this week because, again, Screencast only allows 15-minute videos, which means that I either have to talk really fast or record more than 1 video. You're going to have more than 1 video that will cover our Zoom content today. So anyway, it's a good idea on Friday. Course always opens on Friday, so you want to make sure that you're watching those overview videos and looking at the assignments right away on Fridays so that you're prepared for our Zoom class on Mondays. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and open this. Then you want to go down here, you want to download it. Sometimes the print screen doesn't work great from here. I always download it and then print it. It just works better. But this is what you're supposed to do for the week, and so there's even a checkoff column so you can make sure you get everything done. Then if I go back into that folder, I can see here are the 2 videos, and I always give you access to the PowerPoint that I use to make the videos. It's just, I don't know, I just think it's helpful. That way if you need to refer back to something, you don't always have to re-listen to the whole video. You can just go into the PowerPoint for it, because a lot of times the slides kind of stand on their own too. All right, so once you're done with that, you'll see this week I've also given you access to the syllabus. And so like I showed you, there's lots of different ways to get the syllabus. And so if I click on the link, and I've already done that, so I'm just going to click over, it's going to give me a link to the syllabus. And so this is where I was in our course, just to kind of show you around D2L a little bit. All right, so here is my name. You can call me Jan. I don't like Hey You, so Jan works just fine. My office at Normandale, which I am not ever going to be in this semester because, of course, the pandemic. So here is my Zoom room. This is the phone number to my office. It does ring through to my house here, so if you need to call me, you can. I can't promise that I'll answer because I might be in a meeting or something, but you can always email me, and I showed you how to do that from D2L. Okay, for the course, you're going to need the serial podcast transcript, although I did just show you that it's free online, so you can use the free version as well. You're going to want to get a binder for that transcript so the pages don't fall everywhere else, and you'll probably need a binder for all the handouts because you'll want to be printing a lot of the things that I give you, and then obviously you need a computer because this course is online. All right, we meet in Zoom normally from 9 to 10. Know that our time is really from 9 to 11. I can't promise you I'll always take just an hour. Sometimes I might take half an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. It kind of depends, but in general, about an hour. Our final exam will be due Wednesday of finals week. Here are my office hours. Please write them down somewhere. This is when I'll be in Zoom. You do not need an appointment. You don't even need to email me to tell me you're coming. You can just show up. You might get into my waiting room. If I have lots of students, you'll have to wait your turn. Just picture a line outside my office door, and I will let you in the order that I saw you come in the waiting room. So if you have to wait a little bit, it's okay. Just be patient. I'll let you in as soon as I can. Okay? Now, next on the syllabus, you'll see is what's called the Common Course Outline, and this is what every single section of college writing is doing this semester. And so you might want to read it, and you can kind of see what the college says we're going to be doing this semester. Next, as far as course policies go, I would say keep up with the course. You want to log in every day, spend about 2 hours a day in our course doing the work. That will get you through it. The worst thing you can do right now is log in on Friday and try to get all the work done for the week in one day. You will not be able to do it. It will never work. So please make sure you budget 2 hours a day for me. Put it in your schedule. Make sure you give me 2 hours a day, work down the folders, and get your work done. In general, a lot of this I'm not going to address specifically today. It's probably just a good idea for you to read it. This is considered a contract between you and me. It's a good idea if you know what's in the contract. In general, don't plagiarize. I will turn you in to the Dean of Students. I will not feel bad about it. You are really offending me, the course, the college, your classmates. Don't plagiarize. That means do not ever present anyone else's words as your own without giving credit. Okay, let's see. What else would I want to go over? There's a lot of statements in here that, again, you'll want to make sure you're looking at. In general, as far as grading goes, there's kind of two buckets. First, there's assignment completion, and that includes this list here. So all the discussion boards, the informal writings, the smaller writing assignments, draft submission to our bigger papers, conferences, curiosity quests, which you don't know what that is yet, but don't worry, I'll tell you what that is, and Zoom attendance. You must have your camera on to be counted as present in Zoom, but please know that if you have an issue with that, you must talk to me so that we can come up with an arrangement that works, okay? And then sentence carpentry, and you'll learn more about that as we go. So this has to do with all of the assignments that we're doing throughout the semester are in this 30% of your grade. 70% of your grade falls into 3 writing units. We're going to start with the personal narrative. It's worth 20% of your grade. Then we're going to move to the rhetorical mode essay, also called the justice paper. It's worth 30% of your grade. It's actually divided into summative and formative. Summative is 21% of your grade, formative is 9% of your grade, and that will equal 30%. There's a lot of work in this unit, and so it will take us about 8 weeks to get through this unit. Finally, we'll end with an argument unit that we kind of dabble in all semester, and then we will do this at the end. It's worth 20% of your final grade. There are 2 assignments that are each worth 10%, an annotated bibliography of your research, and then your final podcast presentation, which is an argument that is also 10%. So the final grading curve looks like this. If you need any help, come see me. You can go to the Writing Center and the Tutoring Center, and there's tutor.com as well. All right, so then the important dates, if you need to know this is a screenshot from the Normandale website if you need to know when things are happening. The last day to withdraw, you do need to check e-services. It's sometime in November, but if you need to withdraw from our course, please make sure you talk to me. Don't just disappear. Often we can work things out, especially the way my units work. Just make sure you talk to me. Students that I've had before in this course have given like little nuggets of inspiration for you. These are quotes from them. These 16 weeks can be transformational. Let them be. It'll all make sense in the end. Hang in there. You'll be glad you did. Stay on top of your work. Don't skip class. You'll learn how to be a better writer and reader. No more 5-paragraph essays. You'll learn inductive order. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Satellite writing helps. Use it. Again, you don't know what this is yet either, but you will soon. This course is fast-paced, but you'll learn to write with a purpose. ask for help when you need it. Help is always there. So those are some nuggets of brilliance from previous students. And then know that I use student work all the time in my courses, and I always have permission to do that. If you'd like to give me permission to use your work later on, please sign this and give it to me. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so I am at the end of my first 15 minutes, so I am going to click stop here recording, and then this will be the end of the part 1 of our Zoom Introduction Day video.